welcome to the Mad Creations Kitchen. I guess one of my biggest requested recipes at the moment for everybody to actually want to see get done is the bread. We've had a few people that have had a few fails, so I'm going to cook it for you today and show you what to look for when you're going to make your bread. Okay, so straight up what we're going to do is we're going to get our yeast starter going. So I'm just putting in 1 cup of tepid water. So while I actually have just turned the tap on, I actually already checked to see that the water is warm but not hot. Hot water will kill the yeast. And into that mix we're going to put 2 teaspoons of inulin. Now if you don't have inulin, inulin is a prebiotic fibre, which has a slightly sweet taste and can be nice and creamy in dishes and that as well. You can just use sugar. The yeast will eat the sugar, so you won't have the carbs present in the bread anyway. So that's totally up to you. So I'm actually using 2 sachets of just the yeast that you can buy from any supermarket. Well, I say any supermarket, but I know some of them are small and they might have it, but I'm sure most supermarkets would have yeast in there. So that's 2 whole sachets of 14 grams. I'm just going to give that a little stir, and I'm going to cover it with a little bit of cling film, which I can also grab because I didn't get that ready. The noise you can hear and me looking down is Stormy, my little puppy, who is now in the kitchen. Get out. Get out! She's not allowed in the kitchen. But anyway, so I'm going to cover that up now. So I've given that a stir. Pop that away. As you can see, it's 1 cup of water with the 2 teaspoons of inulin and the 2 sachets of the yeast. And you're going to be actually able to see that this will foam up quite a lot in a very short time, and you'll be able to put it into your mix. Now I'm going to use a Thermomix today to mix my bread. You can do this by hand. You can do it in I've got a KitchenAid mixer over here that's got the dough hook. If you've got a stand mixer that has a dough hook, or just do it by hand in a big bowl. It doesn't mean you actually have to have any special equipment, and it will make no difference as long as the whole batter is mixed together, and then the dough is kneaded for about 5 to 7 minutes to actually develop the gluten in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting in my ingredients. Now, the yeast starter will go in last, of course, because we're trying to get that to activate. So that's what it's calling, activating the yeast and getting off foaming. Now, one thing that some people may do wrong is when they're putting in their ingredients, they're putting their salt near their yeast. Now, salt is almost like throwing salt into a bubble bath. Kills your bubbles in your yeast as well. So always try and put your salt in well and truly before you put your yeast, and don't put them on top of one another. When they're mixed together, that's fine, but when they're put together straight in, that's not so fine. So 2 eggs into the mixer. I'm going to put in my pinch of salt now. If I can get my hand into my thing. I've got some nice Murray River salt there, which is really lovely. Great if I had a towel there. Now, I've left the packaging here and they are dirty, but oat fibre has 0 calories, 0 carbs as well. It's mainly just a fibre. It's made from the groats, or the actual husk around the oat. So it's not actually oat, so it can't be replaced with oat flour. And the Vita Wheat gluten, of course, has wheat in it. So for those of you who are celiac or gluten intolerant, this bread is totally out for you. But the good news is straight after I finish this video, I'm going to make my first loaf of another one with a keto flour that I've been playing with, similar to many that are on the internet, but trying to make some different changes and that to make it easier for you and less expensive to make as well. But anyway, we've got our Vita Wheat gluten here, so that's going in. I've got the oat flour, there you go, I just said oat fibre going in. We've got 2/3 of a cup of golden flax meal. I mill my own. I just buy the seeds and mill it, and it's really cheap. And I've got the butter all in cubes. It's not softened or anything like that. It doesn't need to be anything like that. And then I just need 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum, which also helps to get those lovely little bread-like structures inside your bread mix. So, okay, so I've actually got all that done. Now, normally that would take a little bit of running around. Like if I was going to start making my bread, I would put this on, and then I'd be pulling out all the other ingredients and, you know, my pan, which is, I get these ones from the Kitchen Warehouse, I think it's called. They're called the crispy pan or something like that. They've got little holes in them and that as well, and you don't need to line it or anything like that when making this bread. If you're going to go and make soul bread, don't pour it in because it'll just come out the sides. If it's a dough, yes. If it's a batter, no. But yeah, I would get all of my things ready while I'm waiting for that to rise. So I will come back to you when this has risen, but I'll let you know, it's 3 o'clock now, how long it actually takes to rise. Okay? Okay, I'm back. It is now 3:15, and as you can see, it might be easy if I take the plastic off. The yeast has really activated and it's nearly up to the 2-cup mark. So this is what you're looking for when you're activating your yeast. If it does not do this, start again, because it's not going to start rising in there if it's not risen in here, okay? So remember, it's warm water, not hot water, not cold water. And the yeast, check your dates. If it's really old, throw it out and go and get some new stuff. Store it in the fridge. That tends to be the best way of doing it. Just use your scraper. Okay, so I'm just going to scrape that in. So again, like I said, if I'd done that at first and then got all my ingredients ready and my tin and everything like that, it probably would have been ready by the time I had actually done all of that, but I'd already pre-done it for the video, so you didn't have to watch me pulling things out of the cupboards. Anyway, that's it. Those of you who haven't seen a Thermomix in action, it's just a machine that can do anything. Okay, so I'm just going to turn her on, which I should have done when I came over here. Oh, oops. Oh yeah, I pulled the cord out. Okay. I'm just going to move my tin over. I'll move my tin over to here so that you can see when I go to put it out over here. Okay, so I am just going to knead this. I hate this when it flashes up. I'm just going to knead my dough for 5 minutes. See? And hit the knead, or dough selection, dough, and that's on. I don't need to have that or whatever. So that's going to mix everything up, and I'll come back when that's done so that you don't have to listen to it for 5 minutes. So I just use a little bit of coconut flour on my mat. So remember, coconut flour can be very drying, so don't put a lot out. So I'm just, as you can see, just sprinkling a little bit there. And then that'll just stop my dough from sticking. Now, when you're making your bread, if your actual dough, like, see how it's still wettish, but when I touch it, it doesn't stick to my fingers, okay? So if you're making it and it sticks to your fingers, just add a little bit more of the vital gluten, and then that will help make it a little bit more dough-like rather than, yeah, very sticky. So anyway, I'm just going to get this out of here. And you can already see it's like really stretchy. It's a proper dough, this one. It's not like a lot of the other breads that I make are more battery when you're going to use them, but this one's definitely a dough. And you can see that pretty much cleans it straight out of the bowl itself. All that. And even while I was like waiting, as you see, I've like cleaned up my kitchen and that as well too. So even while I'm making this, you know, I actually haven't stopped, and yeah, I've got a clean kitchen as well. So once I put this away, I can go and I even had a short break while I was waiting for the yeast. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give the dough a quick knead. I use mostly a one-handed action and just give it a little push down with the palm, or the what do you call that part of your palm? The heel of my palm, and just keep turning it till I get a nice round ball. I don't know if you saw when it came out, it was actually like quite wrinkly and it wasn't all coming together, which if you can see that now, it's coming more together like the dough that you see most breads look like. So anyway, knead. This doesn't need to have a lot, but you can see it's not sticking to me. I have adjusted the ingredients to this. So if you had already made it and go to make it again, it's going to be totally different. I've made it lighter and more buttery. So nothing wrong with having a bit of butter in your bread. So yeah, it's making it very rich. So you can see that is like just gorgeous. So what I'm gonna do now is I roughly push it out. Now here's my pan here, it's like 13 centimeters long. I'll roughly push it out until I'm about that length. And then I push it out that I know that if I can triple this over, I'll roll it over into 3, that it will fit in my pan. So as you can see, I've got like a nice little dough square kind of thing. And now I'm just gonna roll it over, keeping the seam at the bottom. And then I'm just gonna easily pick that up, pop that straight into my tray. Now these trays do not have to be sprayed or anything like that. They're a non-stick pan. And then what I actually do is I love these, what are they called, silica mats. Great for using for the rising and that as well too. So I just fold that over. I'm gonna go stick that on my dining room table in some warm place, but don't go stick it out in the sun or anything like that too. That can also kill your yeast as well. And I'm going to let this rise. Now, you have seen probably some of the pictures when I've shown what it looks like when it has completely risen. I wait till it is above the tin. So it will probably be a good centimetre in about an hour. And when I see it to get to about there, we're going to score it and then we're going to put it in the oven. But I'll come back when we're at that stage. Okay, see you again soon. Okay, so we're back and I'm just unwrapping my bread. As you can see, it has risen well and truly above the tin. This is not baked. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to score my bread with a really sharp knife. This just allows it to actually have more room to let out the air or grow. Anyway, makes it look pretty too. You can do this with a razor blade if you've got that. It usually works better. My knife needs a sharpen by the looks of it. Anyway, we've scored it. Now I'm just going to pop that in the oven and bake that at 170 degrees for 45 minutes. And when it comes out, we'll have a look at it. Okay. Okay, so the oven has actually gone off. I'm going to get it out for you. I've already seen it. So I know you're going to love what you're going to see come out here. Yes, yes, oven, I hear you. Look at this beautiful loaf of bread. That, my friends, is the low carb loaf. It is absolutely beautiful in every single way. Not only does it look amazing, but it actually tastes really lovely as well. I think I have said at the beginning of this video that I adjusted the recipe slightly. It's now more buttery, it's more moist inside, so it's like, moist is not a right word to say with bread, but let's just say, yeah, it's got that buttery texture, you know, not quite to the level of brioche, but I'll just keep pushing the butter in there because I really want to try some Linehouse rolls with this mix. So anyway, here's our loaf. I'll just show you, you should be able to easily just pop this out of that tin just like that. So that's how easy and great these tins are, and they're cheap as chips. So, I mean, I don't sell them, and I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but yeah, great buy. But anyway, thanks for watching this. Yeah, I can't obviously cut it, it's gonna cool. But, you know, if you like my videos and want to see more cooking classes, give me a thumbs up and give me a comment, and subscribe and watch us on YouTube. I have been making another loaf of bread while I've been doing this one as well. That's completely gluten-free. It'll be completely okay for most people on keto, except that it does have some almond meal in it if you're a nut-free keto. But we can substitute that out with golden flax meal, which there is some of that in there as well. But anyway, thanks for watching, and please subscribe and give me a thumbs up and let me know what you think.